You ever watch a pistol you love just get streamrolled year after year and wonder what the hell happened? Yep, same here. So I stopped listening to the same old internet hype and started digging. These 9mm pistols didn't just perform, they obliterated expectations. Range masters kept pulling them out, law enforcement picked them up quietly, and most gun shop guys, they won't shut up about them behind the counter. But one of these, nearly made me sell my carry gun out of pure envy. I'll let you guess which one. Oh, and don't get too confident. If your favorite brand didn't make this list, I promise there's a reason, and you're not gonna like it. Honestly, I didn't want to include the MC9. I fought it. Too many reviewers worship this thing like it's a holy artifact. Best value, punches above its weight, yes. Heard it over 100 times. But you know what finally broke me? I loaned it to a buddy who carries a Staccato. That guy came back quiet, just said, I think I'm gonna keep this. That's when it hit me. This wasn't hype, this was disrespect wrapped in performance. It's almost too good for its own good. You shoot it for a week, and suddenly your Glocks feel old, your Sigs feel overpriced. The reset? Crisper than it should be. The recoil? Suspiciously manageable. And that trigger? It's what budget guns aren't supposed to have. But if the MC9 really destroyed the competition, why are half the dudes who carry it still pretending they're tactical elite on forums? Maybe the real problem isn't Canik. Maybe it's that we're just not ready to admit it's better than what we carry. You won't see the PDP Compact trending on YouTube. Nobody's filming it in slow-mo B-roll or calling it a Glock killer for clicks. But go to a real class, the kind where gear fails and shooters don't, and check the belts of the guys who never miss. More often than not, there's a PDP riding silent. This gun doesn't win you over on day one, it wins over time. After your favorites start failing, after the hype guns start cracking, and the PDP just keeps punching. It's the last one standing, not because it's cool, but because it works. A friend calls it the ego killer, not because it's better than you, but because it'll show you you're not as good as you think and then help you fix it. Most won't brag about it, but you'll stop it when it matters. And the next gun? Let's just say it forced me to sell one I swore I'd never let go. Almost feels like the range is split clean in two these days. Folks running the XMacro and folks pretending they ain't the least bit jealous. Ain't hard to see which side's smiling for real. This gun didn't just show up, it showed up with receipts. What started as a too big P365 is now the pistol that made every other micro compact look ancient before they even left the holster. It wasn't hype, it was disruption. Suddenly, guys were dumping G43Xs, Hellcats, and even their Glocks just to make room for something that shouldn't even have existed a few years ago. Nobody asked for a 17-round P365. Now, you can't find a serious conversation without it. The XMacro didn't just beat the competition, it forced it to adapt. Every new launch since is scrambling to close that gap. Walk through a used gun counter and count how many subcompacts you see collecting dust. That's not coincidence, that's the XMacro effect. And if you thought this one shook things up, wait till you see what pistol still haunts the forums a year later. Some guns don't care what month it is. In this November 2025, while everyone else is flexing whatever's trending, the M&P9 2.0 Compact just clocks in, does the job, and goes home in one piece. No drama, no headlines, just years of showing up when it matters. You won't find this pistol at the top of a Reddit poll, and it doesn't trend on Instagram. But step into any course where drills actually matter, and you'll find it. Beaten, carried, still running clean. I've seen guys burn through thousands of rounds, holster it muddy, and not think twice about it, because it's not about showing off, it's about lasting. It didn't destroy the competition with innovation, it did it with mileage. While others chase flash, the M&P is the one that survives the recalls, the fashion trends, and the must-have YouTube pistols. Don't get fooled by the silence. This thing's built like a contractor's toolbox, scratched, scarred, and somehow still here when everything else gave up. This ain't the gun for fanboys or polished YouTube clowns. Nobody's posting trophy shots, nobody's rapping about it online, but out here in the dirt, where hands bleed and mags hit gravel, the Hellcat Pro's the quiet bruiser breaking faces while the pretty boys reload. Take a walk down any Texas match line and watch who gets handed what when shit gets real. See those guys trading Hellcat Pros back and forth? No words, no smiles. Why? Because it just runs. Doesn't matter who's holding it, doesn't matter the setup. Hellcat Pro just shrugs and keeps spitting rounds when other guns are crying for mercy. Last year, I saw belts started shifting. Old Glock guys, Sig snobs, all trading up, no arguments, no speeches, just a silent migration. The kind where you realize, damn, maybe I've been fooling myself. No one brags about it, and that's the point. It's not about hype, it's about surviving ugly. The Hellcat Pro didn't win by looking good, it won because the rest couldn't take the beating. So ask yourself, did the Hellcat Pro win, or did every poser just get tired of pretending their favorite toy could handle the pain? Get ready for the next one. This ride ain't getting any softer. Let's just say it. The G3C isn't winning beauty contests, and it sure as hell isn't flawless. Mine jammed twice. I cussed it out loud, shoved it back in the safe, and thought I was done. 2 weeks later, I'm back on the line, and guess what? Some guy next to me is running a G3C, mag well cracked, slight finish gone, trigger guard taped up like it survived a house fire, and he's still beating the timer. They keep showing up no matter what. Beat up, passed around, shot dirty, loaned out, breaking rules and expectations. You don't bring a Taurus G3C to show off, you bring it because you've already quit caring what people think, and somehow that pistol just won't quit. It didn't destroy the competition because of specs or praise, it did it because it refused to stay dead. You want polish? Go buy something Swiss. But if you want proof of war, count how many G3Cs are still bleeding on the front lines this year. Count how many G3Cs are still bleeding on the front lines this year. Only one reason folks are talking non-stop about the VP9. It never went looking for the spotlight. Ain't the newest iron on the firing line, and it never cared to play that part. Just keeps doing its work, quiet, steady, and sure as sunrise. Most of the guys who carry one, they've already owned just about everything. They've gone through the phases, the tricked out builds, the fancy coatings, the next big thing. Then one day, they put a VP9 on the bench, ran a clean course, and never looked back since then. The VP9 doesn't care if anyone approves. It's not chasing praise, and it doesn't need to. You just load it, run it, and let the results speak for themselves. It's not flashy or even loud, but it's still here, outlasting all the ones that showed up with fanfare and vanished after a few hiccups. And that's what makes it dangerous. It wins when the noise dies down. Next up though, now that one's a whole different kind of story. You're gonna have an opinion about it whether you want to or not. A couple of months back, I'm standing at a steel match outside San Antonio. Dirt blowing sideways, grown men causing the wind. Some kids pull out a Beretta APX A1, and I swear to God, the guy next to me leans over and says, "What the fuck is that doing here?" Didn't look right, didn't belong. Not in a lineup of SIGs, CZs, and optics-ready show ponies. But by the end of the day, that same APX was still running drills while the high dollar toys were jamming, cracking optics, or just getting benched. Nobody said a word, but I saw it. Folks kept sneaking glances at that Beretta like it had just passed some trial nobody expected it to survive. You didn't hear praise, just silence. And in Texas, that means respect. That Beretta didn't win by name. It won because the hits kept ringing long after the fancy ones got packed away. You don't have to believe me, just watch whoever's carrying it in the next match. This ain't for pretty boys. That's the first thing you learn when you run a P09. The second, it doesn't give a damn if you're ready for it. Limp-wristed and it'll bite. Run it soft and it'll slap you like you owed it money. These things look like they've been dragged through hell. Scarred slides, chipped paint, busted grip tape, duct-taped mag welds. You'll find them in beat-up holsters next to men with dust on their boots and black on their hands. Mags cheap, slides massive, triggers like a broken hinge, but every time you squeeze, it barks and hits. Ask around at a match. Glock guys hate it, Sig boys flinch, and nobody wants to admit it, but the P09's the gun you don't brag about, you just survive with. And if you're wondering where the competition went, the P09 sent it packing. And yet somehow, there's still one pistol left standing. Number one's not just brutal, it's personal. This ain't no mall ninja fantasy. This is the last gun still smoking when everyone else taps out. If there's one pistol that looks like it's been dragged through the dirt, dropped in the gravel, and stomped on by boots that never stopped moving, it's the Glock 19X. Every other gun in your bag can stay polished. This one's here for war. You'll find 19Xs covered in sand, with frame rails dry as bone, mags caked in mud, and not a single tear shed. Doesn't get cleaned, doesn't get babied, just goes bang when the buzzer hits again and again. The slides turned brown, the grips chewed up. One guy lost the front side last spring and kept running it blind. You think Glocks are boring? Tell that to the dude who was at his tricked out Sig lockup when this thing kept feeding wolf steel like it was nothing. I didn't buy it for the looks, I didn't even like it at first, but it's the only pistol I trust when I'm soaked in sweat, timer is ticking, and I don't have time for a plan B. The 19X didn't win by being pretty, it won because everything else fucking died. We're not done yet, boys. There are a few pistols that didn't make the main list, not because they couldn't compete, but because they might even be more dangerous when they're underestimated. Let's hit the bonus picks. You ever seen a pistol turn a loud piece quiet? That's the work of the Staccato P. Guys walk up thinking it's just overpriced hype, then go home embarrassed after watching it smoke the field. This ain't for commandos on YouTube or flex shooters running $2,000 in optics. It's for the dude who's sick of getting beat at the local match. The one who brings extra mags because he plans to stay on the line all day. Texas troopers, border town steel shots, behind every plate that dropped fast and clean, you'll find a Staccato. Trigger so sharp, it'll make your Glock feel like a broken fence hinge. Slide moves like it's angry, but if you limp or slap, it'll chew you up and spit you out in front of everybody. No hashtags, no excuses, just grit. This pistol doesn't flex, it earns. Down here, you don't own a Staccato P unless you earn the scars to carry it. This ain't your granddad's pea shooter. The Kimber Micro 9's like a pissed off bulldog stuffed in a Sunday suit. Small, dressed sharp, and ready to bite a chunk out of anything in its path. Don't let the size fool you. I've seen this thing bounce around glove boxes, chew through lint and jacket grit, and still ring steel before half the crowd realized it was even loaded. County match, gravel ground, slick zippers, doesn't matter. This thing don't care. People call it snappy, yeah, but that's because it's not built for comfort, it's built to shut down excuses. While big names were crying about grip texture, this little freak show was out here wrecking the scoreboards. Forget polish, forget showroom looks. This is for the guy who keeps his pride in the chamber and not on Instagram. And if you thought that bark was loud, wait till you see what's waiting for you when we reveal bonus number 3. It's bigger, heavier, and damn near impossible to kill. Ever seen an iron wander into a fight it wasn't called for and still clear the whole damn room all the same? That's the kind of presence we're talking about here. That's the work of the Echelon. Nobody hyped it, nobody expected it, and somehow it still left the range looking like a war zone. Ran into a guy out in East Texas backwoods match. No jersey, no team patch, just a pissed off Echelon with a trash can magwell and a burned out slide. Looked like it got dropped in gravel, kicked under a truck, and somebody still said, yeah, run it again. And damn if it didn't work. All week, the big names were blowing up targets on camera. Come Sunday, most of those guns were sitting in bags. But that ugly-ass Echelon was still out there running drills like it owed someone money. Brass in the dirt, zero excuses. The old head said it wouldn't last, but guess what? It outlasted them. And we're still not done. Bonus number 4. The next one's got roots so deep, it came back from the dead to wreck the party. Let's go. You hear that? That's not thunder, it's the sound of every shooter down the line shutting their damn mouths. The Shadow 2 just showed up. No shine, no polished pose for the camera. This iron ain't the smiling type. It shows up scuffed, patched, smelling of gun grease and old beer, and still runs smoother than most folks' prized gun shooter. All business, no pretense. Just a kind of tool that works when everything else starts complaining. I saw one show up to a Lubbock night match last spring. Guy had it zip tied to a leather holster that looked like a jock chewed through it. Didn't matter. The Shadow 2 just kept hammering steel like the optics boys kept resetting their malfunctions. It doesn't want your praise, it just needs your admiration. The Shadow 2 doesn't even look your way. It just eats whatever's in the mag and dares you to outshoot it. And by the end of the night, everybody else was whispering excuses, but the Shadow 2 was still standing there saying, who's next? Last call, who's got the nerve to step up? Let's see if the last one has the guts to outlive them all. You don't see them on thumbnails, not even in mine. You don't hear YouTubers yapping about it, but walk the match line after a hard rain in Dallas and you'll spot the MR920. Mud-caked, slide half-chewed, dragging max through puddles like it's hunting something. It's not built for praise, it's built to survive the week. While the shiny stuff gets babied and benched, the MR920 just eats gravel and keeps shooting. Guys won't say it out loud, but they don't loan this one, not because it's new, but because it doesn't quit. Tape on the grip, drag marks on the slide, busted up, and still biting. It's the pit bull that won't stay down. Every time you think it's done, it's back on the line, chewing brass and making the boutique pistols look like fashion mistakes. You want polish? Scroll up. You want the one they whisper about after sundown? Keep watching. We're about to drop the final 2, and it only gets meaner. You ever seen a walking, talking moron strut into a match with a Gucci blaster and get carved up before he can finish the mag? That's when the OZ9 Elite shows up. Quiet, clinical, and dangerous enough to make people step back without saying a word. It doesn't wear grit like a badge, doesn't flex with flashy paint or fake wear. Every inch of it's been tuned like a back alley surgeon's tool. Parts swapped, tolerances pushed, recoil eaten alive. You won't catch influencers talking about it because they don't know what to say. Half of them are still trying to pronounce it. This isn't your crowd pleaser. It's the pistol that bets on chaos and cold precision, runs clean and hits hard without asking for applause. In Texas, folks stare at it like a rattlesnake they don't remember letting in. It doesn't care if you clap, doesn't care if you watch, but when it's done, you'll be the one counting names crossed out, just hoping yours ain't on the list. So how many of those did you see coming, or did your go-to get smoked off the list? And if you thought that was wild, wait till next time. I'm ranking the most overrated 9mm pistols of the year, the ones everyone talks about, but almost nobody actually carries. Think you know which ones? Prove it in the comments. And yep, convince me I missed something here. I change my mind if the argument's strong enough, but if you want your pick to show up next week, you better speak up now.